February 28th, 1638. Welcome back to This Day in Scottish History. I'm your host, Colin MacDonald. Today, we turn our gaze to a momentous event that took place on February 28th, 1638, an event that would shape Scotland's political and religious landscape for generations to come. On this day, in the solemn grounds of Greyfriars Kirkyard in Edinburgh, a group of determined Scots put their names to the National Covenant, a bold declaration of faith and defiance against King Charles III's attempts to impose Anglican practices on the Church of Scotland. And if you're curious about other fascinating events that happened on this day in history, be sure to check out my blog at bagtownclans.com/thisday. The link will be in the description. By the early 17th century, Scotland was in turmoil. The Protestant Reformation had taken deep root in the country, and the people were fiercely protective of their Presbyterian system of church governance, where ministers were elected by congregations rather than appointed by bishops. King Charles I, however, was determined to bring Scotland's church in line with the Anglican Church of England, with bishops under royal authority. For many Scots, this was not just an administrative change, it was an attack on their faith, their freedom, and their very identity. Tensions reached a breaking point in 1637 when Charles introduced a new Book of Common Prayer, a move that was met with widespread outrage. In St Giles's Cathedral in Edinburgh, a woman named Jenny Geddes famously threw a stool at a minister's head, sparking riots. Across the country, resistance grew, culminating in the creation of the National Covenant, a document that affirmed Scotland's rejection of royal interference in church affairs and reaffirmed their commitment to Presbyterianism. On February 28, 1638, thousands gathered at Greyfriars Kirkyard, one of Edinburgh's most historic graveyards, to sign the covenant. It was an extraordinary scene. Nobles, ministers, and ordinary citizens alike, many of them weeping with emotion, came forward to put their names, or for those who couldn't write, their marks on this declaration. Some even signed in their own blood, a dramatic gesture of their unwavering commitment to the cause. The Covenant sent shockwaves through Scotland and England. It marked the birth of the Covenanter movement, a powerful force that would shape the course of the British Civil Wars. For the next 50 years, Covenanters would fight, suffer persecution, and even face martyrdom to defend their right to worship as they believed. The signing of the National Covenant was not just a moment of protest, it was a declaration of Scottish resilience, a defiant stand against tyranny, and a crucial chapter in the struggle for religious freedom. The echoes of that fateful day in Greyfriars Kirkyard can still be felt in Scotland's history and identity today. Thank you for joining me today on This Day in Scottish History. If you enjoyed this look back at one of Scotland's defining moments, don't forget to check out my blog for more stories from the past at bagtownclans.com/thisday. Tune in tomorrow for another journey through Scotland's remarkable history. I'm Colin MacDonald. Haste ye back.